In the previous video, I showed you a couple of features related to CMap, like creating of concept nodes, creating of connecting phrases, creating of connecting lines or links, inserting images inside a concept node, inserting image in the background. Now, suppose you do not want this image to remain in your background, so you simply have to go to background image. There's a circle with a cross inside it. Click on this and it will ask you if you want to remove it. Just remove it. And you can once again drag your CMap back to the center. So it's very easy to remove images from the background or insert them. Another method of inserting an image in the background is that you go to your browser, click on images, select any image that you want in your background, copy that image, bring it here and paste it. So there was nothing that I had copied. Otherwise, you can click on any image, copy image, bring it to your background, right click, paste, and the image will be saved in your background. So that is how we insert images in the background or concept nodes of our CMap. Now let's develop this further. This CMap further. So I shall talk about certain types of flowers. Or let's say I shall talk about varieties of flowers. And since I have not much time or I do not wish to elaborate it, I'm going to write a few names of the flowers that I know of, say rose, pansy, dahlia. So these are some of the flower varieties that I have written about. Now what I want to show is how to hide information. So one way of hiding information I told you was annotation. How do we annotate something? So click on the concept node where you want to annotate something, right click, and you get this tab annotate. So either you can click on this and annotate, or you can go to tools and you have the option of annotate here also, second option. So I click on annotate and this yellow box appears. I want to add some information about plants. For example, I want to say plants can be seasonal, annual, or perennial. This is the information I want to give about plants. So I want this information to be hidden till the time I want to show it. So once I have written this inside everything, inside my box, I click on this minus sign and it gets attached to my concept nodes, a small yellow box which I can place anywhere on my concept. I can even place it inside the box. So when I double click it, it opens and gives the information. When I click on this minus sign, it remains hidden and nothing can be seen of it till the time I expand it. Now this is one way of hiding image. Another way of hiding your information is by creating a nested node. How do we create a nested node? Now the simple way is either you click on the concepts which you want to hide, concept nodes that you want to hide, highlight them, right click, and there's an option nested node create. So I click on this. These concept nodes, they come inside a box. Now if I click on this double arrow, the information gets hidden inside the box, and if I click on this right arrows once again, the information gets expanded. Another way is to hide it, then right click, go to nested node, it says expand. So if you expand it, it will get expanded. If you now again click right, nested node, remove expand, and it gets hidden. Another way is to create nested nodes, or this is one way of creating a nested node. I can, whenever I want, I can right click it and go to nested node, detach children. If I detach children, this nested node, the nested node disappears. Now these are no longer inside a nested node. Now, another way to create a nested node is to go to tools window, tools tab, come to nested node, click on nested node, come back, drag your arrow across the concept nodes that you want to insert inside the nested node, leave it. Again, go to Tools, Nested Node, click. Now you have the Create option highlighted, so click on it, and these options, they get inside a nested node. I click on these double arrows, they get hidden, and I click on these, they get expanded. This is how we hide information about our CMap, about extra things that we do not want to show immediately to our viewers. See, I have this CMap. This information is hidden till the time I want to expose it to my viewers. So when I want to expose it, I click on it. When I don't want, I click it shut. This is the way to create a nested node. Another thing about CMaps is that we wish to add resources. As I told you, now about plants or about roots, a number of things can be told about these things. And I can attach them in the form of Word files, images, videos, audios, and Excel sheets or data Excel sheets or PowerPoint presentations. I can give information in any way possible. I can also give the link of some some video or some file that I have saved from the internet. So how to add resources? Click on the concept where you want to add resources, right click, and you get this this tab, add and edit links to resources. So if I click on this, I will have to have the resources first of all saved inside the view window of my CMaps. When I have them there, then only I can insert these resources. And it's very simple. Whatever you want to save, just click on it and save it in the views window. So I have this video of a CMap here, a PowerPoint presentation. Suppose this thing I want to attach to my concept. I click on it, I add it to the list. It appears in this window below, and when I have it here, I simply have to update it, and it gets attached to my concept. I want to add another concept. So another way of adding resources to concept nodes is go to format, come to edit, and there is this link, this tab, add and edit links to resources. So if I click on this again, I click on this folder plants, and I have this image, JPEG image about plant roots. So I click on this, it'll and add to the list below, and then update it. So now you can see I have two resources added to one concept. What do? I move my cursor over this and left click. Then it gives me the information what I have here. It is about plant roots going to extreme lengths to find water. It's an image. If I come here, I have this information that it's a CMap. It's a PowerPoint presentation of a CMap. So when I want to open this, I double click it, the information below, and see, I can see this image in another window. So this is the image I have attached. Now if I want to see this PowerPoint, I left click it now, and I come to this PowerPoint which I have saved in my hard disk or my laptop, and this will open and I can show this presentation to my students. This is how we keep on adding new resources to our concept nodes. Suppose there I wish to add something else, like say again I come to this folder, and I have this word file here, what are plants, and I click on this, add to the list, come here, update it, and this word file has now got attached somewhere. I will have to see where. This is the image, this is where it has got attached. Now when I click on move my cursor on this, I have two files attached here. One is a CMap presentation, the other is a word file. So if I click on this what are plants word file, I get this information and I can read it out or show it to my class. This is how we add resources, and as I told you, I have just attached 3 resources to a single concept. You can go on adding 13 resources to the concept nodes. It's very simple to operate these. You have to go there and right click. When you right click, you can cut this. That means you can cut it from here and place it somewhere else. You can copy it, you can even delete it if you don't want. And you can again go to add and edit links to resources. If you go there, now what you see is that these are the things you have here. If you don't want these things to be attached, say I don't want this image to be there, I click on it, it will get highlighted, I can remove it, and then you see this will be removed from there. Now another way is that I simply click right click it, and I can delete it from here. It will get deleted. So this is how you add or remove resources to your concept nodes. So we have talked about certain things. One is creating a concept node, creating linking phrases, creating linking lines, adding resources to our concepts, and inserting annotations to our concepts, and creating nested nodes, detaching them, or expanding them. So these are a few features of concept maps. Now another thing that I want to show you is that you can play around with your lines also. If say this is my line, I have clicked on it and highlighted it. Now I go to this tab, line, and what I can do is I can change the color of my line. I make it blue. I can change the thickness of my line. I can make it 4. I can change the style of my line. I can make it dotted, hyphened, and I can also change the shape of my lines. I have a straight line for now. I can make it straighter by clicking on this vector. So when I click on this line and make it vector, I get this node here. So I will now drag this here, and I have this node here. So I can drag and make it a straighter line, or make it perpendicular, make this into a perpendicular line. So this is how I can play with my line. Suppose I want this to be a circular line. So I have these options here where I can make it a 3-point Bezier, or I can make it a 4-point Bezier. So if I make it a 3-point Bezier, I can, with this square here, I can change the shape to any shape that I want. And if I make it a 4-point Bezier, then I get all the more options of changing its shape. I can drag it like this, and then I can drag it like this and keep on changing the shapes. So in case I want more pointers to change the shape, I can come here and make it a spline. I can make it a spline, and in this way I can keep on adding more and more options and changing the direction of my line. I can make it circular, I can make it serpentine, any way I want. So this is how I can play with lines. And arrowheads, I have already told you, you can change the direction of your arrowheads from top to bottom, from bottom to top. See there, this line, the arrow comes from top to bottom. I can reverse the direction by clicking on this. This will go to from bottom to top. So this is how I can play with my CMap. So we have learned a couple of things. Now you can go on creating a wonderful CMap, and that is how you create a CMap. You can keep on adding sub-concepts, say leaves. You can keep on adding the types of leaves, then further go on discussing their types, then flowers, roots, stems. Every concept you can keep on expanding further and further. You have very huge space where you can create this CMap. Now the last thing that we want to do is how to save the CMap. So go to File and Save CMap. If you click on Save CMap, you will be saving the CMap in your Views window. So I have this, say, plant paths. I shall name it. I can give some keywords, focus question, which are optional. And if I click on Save, it will be saved in the Views window. See, plant paths. This is the Views window. Here I have saved my CMap. Now another way to save CMap as, if you click on this, it will again ask you to save CMap, and you can save CMap as the way you previously saved it. Another thing is export CMap. Now, if you click on export CMap, you can save it as an image file, a PDF, a web page, and Excel file any way you want, but it is better to save it as image file. Once you save it as image file, then you cannot make any changes in the CMap. So you can find the place wherever you want to save it, it will be saved as a JPEG image. So this is how you can save an image, and later on you can print it also. So when you click on print, since there is my system is not attached to a printer right now, you will not come to know how to save it, but you can print it like a regular whatever document you print, you can print it out like that only. So this is how you save a file, export CMap as image file, and then print it on your system. So when you export your CMap as an image file, you can always take out a printout, and then you can hand it over to your students. They can have them as handouts, and later on at the end of the session or semester, they can go through the main points that you wanted to discuss about your topic. So this is how we create a CMap. In the next video, I'll show you how to make a presentation out of your CMap.